What is going on, everybody? Welcome to lunchtime. It is lunch with the Clydesdale. It is Friday. We're heading into the weekend. Not only is it a weekend, it's a Memorial Day weekend. We get an extra day off here in the States. So, little secret, I took today off. So I actually have a 4-day weekend starting today. However, I was up early this morning. My wife had to go in and have the staples removed from her total knee replacement surgery. So we went in, had that done first thing this morning. And that's a total game changer for her because, really everything about the rehab is getting the mobility in the knee back to get the bend and the total flex from 0 degrees, and they want her at 120 degrees. We had her up to 111 degrees with the staples in, but at that point, the staples start to pool. So having those hopefully not ripped out, taken out today, it will give her the freedom to get that knee bend back to 120 degrees where they want her. But the doctor's super pumped because she's already at 111, just, 2.5 weeks after surgery. She's barely using the walker. I think she'll probably be down to just the cane sometime within the next week. She's just killing it. And he's so pumped because he said so many people have the surgery done, then don't do the work after, and then the surgery doesn't take like it should. And so they really struggle on the new knees. And so she's going to have 2 brand new knees, totally rehabbing up. And hopefully it's a complete game changer for us in life. Because really the last few years, we have not been able to do much as a family because she's been really trapped to areas where there's not a lot of walking, things of that nature. So super excited for her to get back to being mobile again. But yeah, big step this morning, getting those staples removed. So we were at the hospital first thing this morning, had that done. And then I decided if I'm taking part of the day off right before a 3-day weekend, I might as well take the whole day, make it a 4-day weekend, and really just kind of relax a little bit this weekend. It has been a rat race for us with these surgeries, moving my daughter to Montana, plus doing all this side podcasting stuff. So I'm really pumped to just kind of chill out a little bit this weekend. But yeah, so there's that. So that's going on. Also, tomorrow is my wedding anniversary. I will have been with my wife tomorrow for 28 years. 28 years married tomorrow. We dated for about 4 years before the wedding, so it'll be 32 years-ish that we have been together. And so, yeah, super excited about that. But with everything going on, we really have made no plans for the anniversary this year. I think we're just going to go do some lunch somewhere tomorrow, a really nice lunch, just the two of us. And then our goal this weekend is to get her outside a little bit more because now that the scar is healed up and the staples are out, we're going to try to get her outside, moving outside a little bit more, and maybe go to a park or something this weekend and just hang out outside a little bit, get some fresh air. But that seems to be the plan in place for that. Plus, it's Memorial Day. Maybe we'll get a picnic together, do a picnic either Sunday or Monday, do something like that. You guys have any Memorial Day plans or festivities that you do every year? I know Murph is a big one in the CrossFit Space. Murph happens on Memorial Day generally every year. I wonder how many people are doing that this weekend or Monday, and how much preparation have you done for that, and are you ready to take it on this year? So, train to live, Murph, and work. Well, sad part about the work. Sorry about the work. But Murph, I hope you have any goals this year for Murph. Any different partitioning plans? Any uh, PRs you're heading for? Anything like that? Trying to live? What's going on, Andrew? Um, yeah, I don't think I've ever done it any way other than the 5, 10, 15 every year. One year I tried it different. I take that back. One year I did try it different, and it did not go well. I tried to we were in a really small gym at the time, and um and I had to share a pull-up bar with somebody. So because of that, I would just skip the pull-ups if the person was on the pull-up bar, and then try to come back and make up for that. And man, a lot of times what happened is my push-ups got to be well over 10, and I'm really good at push-ups, but I'm a bigger guy. So I reach fatigue really fast. Um, and and that's what happened when we shared the pull-up bars. I would get trapped in the push-up hell, and then really struggle where I was doing the push-up flop kind of push-up. Um, but yeah, that gets tough. It's already hot in Florida. I'll tell you what, man, the last couple days, we were at 80 here in Ohio, and then someone pulled the rug out from under us. Today at the hospital this morning, it was so cold and windy, like whipping winds. Just so cold. But yeah. So that's kind of what my day and my weekend look like right now. The one thing I really wanted to kind of dive into a little bit today is, it's prompted by the Alex Kazan stuff, and I want to start it, and because really what my thing is like, we give nobody the benefit of the doubt anymore. Like, the immediate first response is the worst thing it could be, and then that's the narrative we go forward with. And maybe in some instances that's the correct way to do it. I don't know. I'm I'm not here to put blame on anybody for doing what they did. Um, I get it. There are news sources that are trying to break news. They're trying to do it fast. Their reputation is to be first and to be fast. And if they see something and they do that, I get it. I see their side of this story. I do. But in the last couple weeks, man, I've really been in this place where nobody gets the benefit of the doubt. And it started a couple weeks ago when I'm gonna lay this out. I have been in this space for well over 5 years. I have done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of interviews. I have done hundreds and hundreds of in-person um, interviews at events. I have established relationships with athletes, with coaches, with agents. And never once has anybody complained about how they were handled, or what was done with them, or how I treated them, or the light I put them in. Never once in all of those 5.5 years. 2 weeks ago, I post a meme about a pyramid doing a GHD sit up, and I get a DM back saying that I need to stop that, pull that, and not become part of groupthink. And when I eventually got to talk to someone involved in that situation, not the person that DM'd me, but someone involved in that, my response to them was, how come I didn't get the benefit of the doubt? Have I not earned the benefit of the doubt because of my reputation for 5.5 years with you, with your clients, with coaches? Haven't I earned that enough of that through time to be given the benefit of the doubt in that situation? And I think that's where things like what happened with Alex this week and the World Fitness Project is that nobody is being given the benefit of the doubt. Now, in what I do in my relationship that I built with Alex and her husband and Justin Cutler, my first reaction is to give her the benefit of the doubt and not to assume the worst, because over the past 3 years, they have been nothing but kind to me. They have been completely honest with me. They have never led me down the wrong path. They have never led me astray on anything, and they've never tried to manipulate me or lie to me. So that is my that's kind of my first blush look at this, is they get my benefit of the doubt. So now we look at the WFP. My relationship with Will before the WFP was nothing but professional, truthful, transparent, honest. My relationship with Saxon before the WFP was nothing but truthful, honest, transparent, and never manipulated, never led astray, always truthful with me. All of a sudden, they become involved with the WFP, and we have to question everything they say. Well, I can't take away the relationship I've built with these two people over years of time. And I knew Saxon before I started podcasting. So that relationship even goes back further than 5 years. So how I cannot take away the credibility and the relationship built for 5 to 7 years and throw it away because of something that came out with this whole drug situation. And to me, both Will and Saxon have earned with me the benefit of the doubt. For me to say, okay, I see what's here on the surface. You've earned the benefit of the doubt. Now, you can lose that over time by not being honest, by not being upfront, by not doing things that you say you're going to do. So I know that everybody is looking into this. Everybody's looking at the documents, seeing when they've been edited, seeing when they've been updated, seeing when relationships started, all of this stuff. And again, they can all do that because this is a free market with free speech, and everybody's entitled to do things the way they want to do. And I'm not digging on them at all. They have the right to do any of that stuff. But for me, they have my benefit of the doubt. Now, is it plausible that a person changed their policy and didn't update the paperwork? In my head, that is very plausible because where I work, it happens all the time. I work for state government. We change laws, we change rules, we change procedures, and the documents behind it don't always get updated as fast as the policy, the rule, or the law gets updated. That reside on the internet or that are our front-facing FAQs or different things like that. What will happen is at some point in time, a constituent will then call in and say, hey, I thought the law was this. Your document says that. And then there's a scramble mode where everybody's released to go get that document, get it updated whenever that they're made aware of it. That's the life I lead every single day. So in this instance, when the WFP had a document out there that did not say what was said to Alex at the event, it was plausible to me that they just didn't get around to updating that forward-facing document for what people can see. Is it ideal? No. Does it happen all the time? All the time. It's honestly, I swear to God, I'd live this life, and at least once a month, we're updating a document that got forgotten. And we're talking about state laws, state rules, state requirements. Andrew Sten, in the corporate world, updating documents always takes a while because the language has to be screened by legal people, which takes time. There's all that as well. In state government, we have the Office of Communications who has to see it, legal who has to see it, and then every big politician involved in it wants to see it before it goes out to the public. All that stuff. So all of this is plausible. So in my mind, they all get the benefit of the doubt at this point in time until they prove me wrong. And I will admit, I am a hopeless romantic. I want to believe in people from the first minute I meet them. And then you have to prove to me that you are not trustworthy or not someone not to believe in. That has to be proven to me over time. And listen, my heart gets broken a lot living life that way. And I know there are other people in this world that go into every relationship saying, this person's going to burn me. I'm just waiting for the time. Or they have to prove to me that they're trustworthy instead of the other way around. So I am a person who really comes into life, and I've been burned a ton, and I've never learned my lesson. I always come in open-minded. I want to believe in you until you prove to me that I can't believe in you anymore. Andrew says, I think the issue is people have been burned by giving the benefit of the doubt in the past. So people just jump to not doing it now. I think there are people like that. And I think there are people just wired differently than me, right? I'm not saying the way I live life is the perfect way, because there are a lot of disappointments when you live that way. You get disappointed a lot, and you have to be able to live with that. And every time I get burned, I'm like, I'm going to stop trusting people. I'm going to stop believing in people. But I'm just not wired that way. When I meet you at an event, my first thought is, hey, this is a really cool person. This is a cool relationship. Let's see where this goes. I never look at it as, hey, they're going to have to, before I talk to them about anything. And if you find me at a competition, I am such an open book. I talk about everything. Right after we meet, I'm just that way. But not everybody is that way, and I get it. It's okay. It's what makes the world great. What makes everything we do awesome, because everybody does come in with a different perspective and a different way of doing things, and all of those are okay. All of those are okay. It makes for interesting conversations. I could never do what the spin does. I just couldn't. I'm just not wired that way. But thank God he does it, because he's the one place I can go to catch up with everything that's going on in the space. Does everything he do, is it everything that he does something that I agree with? Probably not. But there's no better resource in the space than him for the most current news. And so if this is the way his brain works and the way he works, then I'm cool with all of that. That's just the way it is. And it's cool that he does that. We both can exist in the same atmosphere and both do our own thing in our own way. And both live our lives in a cool way. So I'm going to give the WFP the benefit of the doubt. So many major sports leagues have removed cannabis and cannabinoids as a banned substance that it makes logical sense if they are working with WADA or drug-free sport, that they would say, hey, all these other places are getting rid of it. Maybe it's something you should consider too. Do you want to keep it in or keep it out? And then they just forgot to update their forward-facing document. Halpin says there's also a jump to post first, ask questions second, and that he is not saved from that. I think we all make mistakes like that, where you think you have like this breaking news, or I've posted stuff super fast and then been like, oh, damn, I shouldn't have. Or, and it takes me back to Herman Edwards, who was a coach for the Jets and the Chiefs and Arizona State. And he always says, take a breath and think before you hit send. And I think we all could benefit from that. I think we've all made those mistakes. But yeah, but I think whatever reputation you build, whatever your consistent pieces, that's going to be what we're going to look to, and that's what we're going to expect. Andrew Sten, that's the nature of news these days, the rush to get a story out so you can get the clicks, views first rather than verifying much of anything. I agree. Me personally, there was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was trying to get stuff out quick. But I learned that I'm just not that guy anymore. What I am in this space is a guy that I build relationships with athletes and coaches. I talk to them off the record. I know things, and that's fine. I'm not going to say them because that's just not my position or place anymore. But the fact that they can trust me gives them the ability to know they can come to me and they can do a show with me, and I'll respect whatever their wishes are. It doesn't mean that I won't be critical of them at times, or that I won't ask them hard questions, but they know they'll get a fair shake when they come on this show. And I'm not saying this to brag, like people tell me things in this space because I'm not going to say them anymore. I'm not trying to be the first out of the gate with anything anymore, but I use it as context in my thoughts and opinions on the Sunday night show. I may use them in my thoughts and opinions on this show. But I'm not going to divulge what was said to me or things of that nature. And then the athletes and the coaches know that to be true. And what's interesting is going back to the conversation I had with the person that accused me of group think, was that after I asked, why didn't I get the benefit of the doubt? They admitted that they should have given me the benefit of the doubt, that my reputation should have led them to believe that I deserve the benefit of the doubt before jumping on me for thinking that I'm jumping into groupthink. So that's my monologue on benefit of the doubt. That's where I am with this story. Alex, Justin, Will, and Saxon, I have long-term relationships with, and they have done nothing to sway me away from their trust and their belief at this point. And so at that point, they deserve my benefit of the doubt. And that's where I stand on the story. Plus, I have lived a life where I've seen things done where rules and policies have been changed and the document doesn't get done as quickly as the thought. If you have followed government, I'm sure you can believe that policies and rules are changed, laws are changed, and all of the front-facing documents about those laws, rules, and policies are not updated immediately. It happens every month where we are sent on a scavenger hunt because a constituent calls in and says, I found this and it's wrong. And then we are digging for every place where we forgot to make that change. It happens every month where I work. So we've got a couple minutes left today. What I want to do is open it up to you guys. If you have any questions for me, I'll answer questions today. But other than that, Halpin says, I don't think anyone in the space wants to go down the road on a conversation when the gold standard seemingly is CrossFit LLC. Well, that's my other thing. Like, every time that WFP makes a mistake, I shouldn't say we. There is a sense that they are being bashed for whatever they do. We have spent 20 years complaining that CrossFit can't put together a season that makes any sense. We have given them chance after chance after chance after chance, and it never gets to a place where it makes sense. We ask for transparency. Never do we get transparency from CrossFit LLC. The one thing I will tell you that the WFP does 10 times better than CrossFit has ever done is they issue press releases. I am a member of the media. I applied for media credentials at the WFP, and I get an email every time a press release comes out, notify me that this has happened with the press release as an attachment. I don't have to go to somebody's Instagram page and hope it's there. Whoa, it's not there. Now I got to go to the CrossFit Games Instagram page. Maybe it's there. Nope, not there. Oh, it's on the media page in the website that nobody can really find from the menu online. You've got to have like the direct link, and then it might be there. Yesterday, when this all went down, WFP came out with a press release early afternoon. They dealt with it head on. They said where their stance was, and that was the end of the story, in my opinion. Other people didn't take that, but you would never get a press release from CrossFit if this happened to an athlete at one of their events, and the same questions coming up, because they've lost my benefit of the doubt. CrossFit LLC has lost my benefit of the doubt when it comes to communicating what's going on and putting together a season that makes sense. Barbell spin, what did I miss? You missed just a 15-minute monologue about benefit of the doubt and where my thoughts lie. But I also said that you have the right to do what you did. And if you wanted to post that story, that's what you are good at. That's what you're known for. You're trying to be the fastest and the most accurate person in the space. That's not what I do. So I have the opportunity to give the benefit of the doubt. Train to live. CrossFit gave athletes judged by the AFJ the benefit of the doubt, but not others. So there's that. Sorry about that. It is cottonwood season in Ohio. If anybody knows what that is, it is ripping me up. I will ask you this, Spin. How many rules has CrossFit changed and not told anybody? I will say there have been changes to the drug policy over time that there's never been a release from CrossFit in any changes they've made in the last 20 years. I am sorry, guys. So he says, so the other 29 women followed what was published. We don't know. Did they follow it, or did they just not admit to taking something on a live podcast? I don't know. In my 5.5 years of doing media, I've never been given a release about a change in the drug policy from CrossFit. I don't, so I don't know. It's not something I look at continually. But I know I've heard from athletes that it's their responsibility to keep up with this stuff as much as they can. And if they miss something, it's their responsibility. In my opinion, from hearing what Alex said today, she realized what she had done after the fact, after the WFP was done, and went to Will and asked him. And that's when he told her that it was changed and she was willing to accept the punishment if it wasn't. If the same thing happened with CrossFit and Castro, the community would be outraged. Why not the same for WFP? Again, I come from a place, and you missed my monologue. I come from a place where every day I work for state government. We change rules, laws, policies all the time, and the front-facing document does not necessarily get updated in every place that it needs to be. Then a constituent calls in, tells us we're wrong, and we go make that change as quickly as possible now that we are aware of it. That's what I live every single day. So for me and my experience, this is something that would not surprise me, that you change a policy or a procedure and you didn't get the document updated in time. And I don't, to give the hypothetical about Castro in the games, to me, they don't have the benefit of the doubt that the WFP does. I have had a long-term relationship with Will and Saxon, so they have earned some benefit of the doubt from me, because they have never not been transparent and open to me. I don't have that same relationship with CrossFit LLC, Castro, or any of that. And I did say that I did not blame you for posting the story. I did not. You have every right to do so. I was just giving my perspective and my life experience as to why I would give the benefit of the doubt. And I use the example of people coming at me saying I jump into group think, and nobody gave me the benefit of the doubt after 5.5 years of establishing a relationship with all these people where I do not call athletes out, or I do not treat them disrespectfully in any way. So that's why I said what I said. Will and Saxon I've known for a very long time, and they've never done anything to lose my trust. CrossFit has had 20 years of doing things that have lost my trust. On the sports side, I still love the methodology. I still love my gym. I still love going to the gym in my community. All of that. Rambler, I'm not biased. I'm telling you flat out why I believe the way I believe. And I said that other people are entitled to their opinion. There are different people in this world. Some people come into relationships open and are open until they're proven to be untrustworthy. Other people come into a relationship and say, I'm not going to trust you until you earn it. They're just different people, and it's okay. It's okay for all of us to have this conversation. I don't mind it. And yeah, does that come with some biases? Sure. It also comes with experience. I've known Saxon since 2016. He has come to my gym. He has worked out with us. I've known him for a very long time, and he has never lied to me. He's always been transparent with me. So he gets my benefit of the doubt. He's earned that. Will Morad, I've known for a very long time. He's never lied to me. He's never been anything but transparent with me. He gets my benefit of the doubt. I'm not up in arms. You're jumping into a conversation at the end and didn't listen to anything that I said earlier in the show. I said Spin was completely entitled to print what he did, and he is fine to do so, and it's okay to have that in the conversation. Don't jump in after I've already said what I said and then tell me what I meant. You weren't even here for the main conversation. I said I'm a hopeless romantic, and I believe in people when I first meet them, and then they do something and they burn me, and then they lose my trust. I have long-term relationships with people in this space. Two of them happen to be Will Morad and Saxon Panchek. So I'm going to believe in them, and I'm going to trust them until they burn me, and then I can't. So I give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove me wrong. That's it. This was not an indictment on what Spin did. I said it was fine for him to do that. And I said he's the best at what he does. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have a place to go to get the news. But from my perspective and what I do, they get my benefit of the doubt until they lose it. Kenneth says, I think Rambler is thinking out loud to himself or about himself. Okay. Barry McCockiner says, Dents reported about the document change dates. We talked about that as well. I work in state government. Documents don't get changed timely. It's what I live. At least once a month, I'm looking for a document that didn't get changed because we changed a policy, a procedure, or a law, and some document online did not get updated. And somebody calls in and says, this is wrong. And then we're sent on a hunt to find every document where that might land and go change them after the fact. It happens all the time where I work. I was just explaining that for me, that's a very plausible thing that could happen because I live that every day. That's all. None of what I said today was an indictment on Spin or his actions or anything he did. I still use him as a news source all the time to find my stuff. All I said was I had long-term relationships with Alex, Justin, Will, and Saxon, and they have earned my benefit of the doubt. That's it. And I think overall in life, people have stopped giving the benefit of the doubt, and they just, if there's one fact, they jump to conclusions. And there are some people just wired that way, and it's okay. But with that, it is about the end of my lunch hour. Tomorrow is my 28th wedding anniversary, so I'm going to go hang out with my wife, who has just had the staples removed from her knee, and now she is on the road to recovery. And with that, I hope you all have a great Memorial Day weekend. We will be back on Sunday night for Sunday Night CrossFit Talk. even during the holiday weekend. And then I'll be back on Monday on Memorial Day to do a lunch with the Clydesdale. Hopefully we have some content to talk about like we did today. And with that, I hope you all have a great 3-day weekend, and we'll see you all next time on Lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.